So I think we have another question from the online audience.
Thank you. Brother Akil Fahad asks, would you still recommend using Ash-Shifa of Qadi Iyad, given the ruling therein toward the one who calls the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam black? And then also we have the example of Hajar, whose steps we all follow when we go to Mecca, who was an African woman. Do you think Muslims, I think in general, understand our history and those of color that made major contributions?
Yeah, I mean, Qadi Iyad Shifa, he does quote a scholar who says that anybody who calls the Prophet black should be killed. And I think that is extremely problematic, and when we look at these particular quotes and the type of people they come from, we typically find that they're coming from people who are not even black to begin with. And also, when they explain, most of the people who explain their justification for this, they would say, oh, it's because to be black is something negative. It's a disparaging characteristic. And it's extremely problematic. It would mean that black people, all black Muslims, had to say, you know, then I am ugly, right? So as if it's my aqidah has to be that I'm an ugly person, then it's disparaging. You know, as a matter of fact, I better not call my brother black, you know, because like, man, you know, because the Quran says don't call by offensive nicknames. It doesn't make sense, you know, to believe that, you know. But Imam al-Nawawi, different from this is that Imam al-Nawawi says something similar to this. But he goes on to explain and said the reason that, I'm not saying that you killed the person, but said that it's kufr to call the Prophet black. And he goes on and says that the reason is that you're describing him in a way that he was not. You're giving him a description that he did not have. You know, so if you call him and say he was a, you know, big fat bulky guy, you know, he was super short or things like that. He said, well, it's unbelief. It's a statement of apostasy or a blasphemy against the Prophet. Whereas many of the other scholars who say, well, the reason that you can't say it is because it's bad to call somebody black. So Imam al-Nawawi's, his opinion is a bit more, you know, much more fair, in my opinion. So you have that particular challenge in our tradition. The Prophet ﷺ didn't say, whoever calls me black, then you're a kafir, or whoever called me black, then you kill them. He didn't say that himself. But the other part of the question regarding our mother Hajar, or the Hajar, who was the concubine of Abraham, alayhi salam, you know, who is believed to be the mother of either the Arab race or at least the Adnani branch of the Arab race. You know, because they say that many of the historians, they say that the Arabs, in general, two categories, the Adnani and the Qahtani branches of the Arab race. So Adnan, you know, it becomes a descendant of Ismail, the son of Abraham, Ishmael. And so the Prophet Muhammad descends through his particular line. Hajar was Coptic, you know, and believed to be a black woman. And, you know, so she was a mother of Ismail. So if the Arabs are from Adnan, or Adnan from Ismail, and Ismail is from Hajar, then kind of qualifies you as being black on one level, right? You know, but of course, that's if we are thinking in modern sort of terms about we call race taxonomies, modern taxonomies. You know, and so where in the past it was cultural races, we're dealing with biological races, races or racism, and we have to be very careful to make that clear distinction between the way that people in the past perceive themselves and what the basis of group identity, affiliation, and why we feel differently about it today. Even though if we go to different countries, we'll find different sort of taxonomies. So we had the one-drop rule in the United States. We got the one-drop rule in Brazil too, but it's the opposite. You know, one-drop rule here. You discover any amount of African blood, you're black. In Brazil, any amount of European blood, you're not black anymore. So you understand, it's just different taxonomies. You know, so this is the way things are, and we have to be sure not to continue to graft the old world on the new world, or vice versa.